Hi, my name is Charity Veerasamy, and we're here with Jason Michael Brescia for Filmmakers. What is it? Sorry. Filmmakers Focus. So, how's it going, Jason?
Doing well. It's a lovely day here in Manhattan. You know, I got my first tattoo down the block.
Oh, you did?
Actually, yeah. When I was like 17, 18, though. Not today.
Oh, great, great. So, we're here to talk about your new film, The Newest Pledge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how's it going? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, we filmed The Newest Pledge out in Orange County, California. There's a low-budget independent film that myself and a bunch of my friends from college put together. Everyone who involved in the film was either a recent college graduate or a current student over in Orange County. And, we just worked hard, shot over a lot of days. A lot of people devoted their lives to it. And a couple of years later, we sold our film, and now it's going to be domestically distributed with a Lionsgate banner on it, which is cool.
Wow, that's perfect. And what were the inspiration towards the movie, towards the film?
The inspirations for the film,
Yeah.
I grew up watching a lot of classic comedies and whatnot. For this film in particular, one of my favorite movies of all time served as a muse, The Newest Pledge. Actually, for this movie in particular, one of my favorite movies of all time served as a muse, Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, yeah.
We actually had one of the actors from Revenge of the Nerds play a role, but that role didn't make the final cut, but it was still cool to work with them.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, Animal House was another one. A lot of people like to say the movie is Animal House meets Three Men and a Baby.
So, what was it like do you have kids of your own?
No, I don't have kids of my own.
Great. So what was it like working with the infants?
It was cool. The baby, Michael was his name in real life. He was fun to work with. At first, it was a pain because all he would do is cry, but as time went by, he started to get used to us, and he would know when to cry on command. Like when the bad guy was around, he would cry. When the good guys were around, he'd be all happy. And whenever we'd say action, he'd know exactly where to look. Whenever we'd say action, I don't know if his parents taught him that or if he just got used to it by the end of the set, but whenever we would say action, he'd know exactly where to look, and I thought that was great for the movie.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So tell us, is there anything more that you'd like to promote?
Well, The Newest Pledge comes out in the fall when school's back in session. It'll be out hopefully everywhere. We haven't gotten all of the specifics yet. So we don't know whether it's only going to be on video, or we don't know if it'll have a small theatrical run, or we don't know whether it'll be on Netflix or Redbox. We assume it'll be on Netflix and Redbox and on demand and all that stuff, but we haven't gotten all the specifics yet. So once I know, I'll let you guys know.
So tell us a little bit more about the script. Were you the one that wrote it?
I was the writer of the script as well as the director of the film, and that made it a lot easier for me on set because of the nature of the project. Since it was a low-budget independent project, things were always constantly changing. Actors couldn't make it a certain day because they had to go be waiters somewhere, or we suddenly just cast a new name actor and I needed to figure out a role for them. Fortunately, as the writer, I knew the script, so I knew if I had to create something new or sub something out, how it would work, So being the writer of this project, because of the nature of low-budget independent film, really gave me an advantage on set, and it gave the producers an advantage because they could change things for me, and then I could figure out ways to make it work. So my producer would be like, hey, Jason, we just got Kevin Nash from the WWE to play Murkhouse's dad. And I'd be like, okay, this is how we'll make that work. Or, hey, Jason, what can you do with Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob. And I'd be like, okay, if we make him a teacher, we could sub out this scene and put it with a scene with Jason, and so on and so forth. And so writing the script really gave us an advantage. If I didn't write the script, we probably would have gotten lost at some point, and the movie would have become a mess.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what's it like making a low budget film?
Well, we had a low budget, but we had enough money to do what we needed to do. You know, because we were all recent college graduates and college students, we were all used to working for nothing.
Yeah.
And the actors were working just for the credit, you know what I mean? Most of them. So with the money we had, we were able to have everything done professionally. If we had done the entire movie professionally, it would have cost probably $4 or $5 million. It cost a fraction of that because of the fact that everyone worked for a little bit of money or no money at all. And we were able to get a great camera for a great deal, and you know, we were able to get a lot of bargains on locations. I always say to my friends out in California that it's a movie that could have only been made in Orange County, California, because we were so close to LA, but we didn't have to deal with how everything in LA has already been used, so they're just going to charge you up the wazoo to shoot there in LA. Whereas in Orange County, for the most part, you know, we were able to rent a huge house without even any crazy legalities, you know what I mean? And we just turned the house into a frat house, and the neighborhood was fine with it. Stuff like that would have been a lot more expensive in Los Angeles to do.
That's great. Well, so how did the film make it to Lionsgate?
Well, interesting story. Well, we finished shooting the film in 2010. We finished editing it in 2011, but then we ran into some currents and whatnot, and so we finished the film in 2010, and it took us a while until we got our final distribution deal settled. But along the way, we partnered up with these really cool guys over at Handshake Partners, which were my producer's representation. In other words, those were the people who were going to get our film across the desks of different Hollywood studios. And once we got our final cut of the film, we did a screening here at Cinema Village to kind of unveil the film. And only in New York. But anyway, we did a screening over here at Cinema Village, and at that point, I think Bob, the producer, and we knew the film was ready to go, and it was probably less than a month later that I got a call from Bob that our representation over at Handshake Partners got us a deal with a company called Grindstone, and Grindstone have a distribution deal with Lionsgate, so it's kind of, we met the guys at Handshake, they got us to the guys at Grindstone, and Grindstone got us to Lionsgate. But it was a long, long trip, and it took a long time to get there, and there was a lot of sleepless nights for Bob, the producer, and myself, and just, it took us about almost a year and a half from when we finished shooting until we finally got that offer on the table that we were comfortable with. And you know, now we're going international, we're going domestic, so you know, it was a real dream come true, but it wasn't an overnight sensation either, you know, like we put in a lot of hours to get to where we were, you know, 2 years of our lives to get to where we were, so it was a lot of work.
Definitely, but it's going to pay off for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and about this fraternity, were you a frat boy when you were in college? I want to know about that, because you know where I come from.
I wasn't a fraternity boy, no. I had friends who were in fraternities, but no, it was never for me. My friends and I, we partied harder than the guys in the fraternities, so we didn't need to have letters on our chest to party hard, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
when the fraternity guys wanted to party in college, they came to my house.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, hey. All right, well, that's brilliant then. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for joining us today. It was great speaking to you. and looking forward to watching the newest pledge.
Me too.
And this is me, Charity Veerasamy, and join us again on Filmmakers Focus. See you again.